Hey there, Nicola Light, remembering you back into your light. I hope you're all well. I'm doing a playlist, this is the second listing for that playlist, which is all about suppressed energy. What is creating the block from you to rise into oneness? That's the question that I want to answer. The first video was all about the quantum, to a degree all about, but it was about quantum, so check that one out before you go into this video. And also, if you want to see the full video, then that's listed on my Patreon. So for now, I'm just going to rub this off and we get into the video. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the physical body blocks that stop you in your ascension process. Here it is. A little bit cleaner, but it's not totally clean. I did get my spray out because normally if I try to spray it and then put the pen on it, it doesn't work. That's interesting. Okay, done. Whew. So just sort of settle the energy into receiving this information. Remember, this information is purely my perspective on my reality. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You probably might not get to the end or might not even subscribe to my channel. Okay, so we're going to be talking about and moving on with the playlist of what is blocking me, the blocks within my system that stops me from moving out of this reality in the reincarnational looping system that's in my field, in my reality, that stops me from tapping into higher self or multi-dimensionality downloads, or whether it may be whatever it is that I feel blocked, I feel blocked, I feel blocked, I feel blocked. You feel blocked, and I am releasing it from me because I see I hold a block. I hold a block. I see I hold a block, not I have a block. I see I hold a block. I see. So the mind holds a magnetism to a reality perspective of synchronistic adjustment to what is being shown to you so that you can rise out of the system. If we've got a physical body that sits upon the land, okay, there's the body and the feet and the beautiful land. Now, a lot of this information actually, not a lot of the information, some of the information is actually on my Udemy courses, and it shows you what blocks you may have that ignite your light language. So that's a little bit of information also on that particular online course, and there'll be a link below that you might want to tap into, and also understanding about light language. So I invite you to go and have a little look at that link. So we want to talk about the mind now, the mind block. Okay, I thought we was going to go into body next. Oh, okay, no, it's included. Okay, so if I put mind at the top here, and we have mind control. We did a video on mind control, so check back on those videos as well, which was about the controlling of the mind, and actually that you can actually put light codes in to actually shift mind control. It's a codex that sort of comes forward, and also there's a sense of a capping system that's upon the head, which is almost like an implant, but it's that sort of block almost puts like a blinkers over you so you can't see beyond, because we're in our five senses. So when we're in our mind, we have the five senses, and there seems to be some sort of control of the system because we have a subconscious mind, okay, that runs this sort of undercurrent of energy that is like this sort of playlist that keeps you in a loop. So there's the incarnational looping system that comes in, creates a mind, you then think, and therefore I am. So there it is, you're just mind and body, you're just mind body. That's it, really. Rather than expansion of all that you are through all time and space, you're embodying into I am Nicola rather than I am the light I am. And our perception of reality is seeing past the veil of amnesia of five senses, and that's a repetitive information that's been brought forward on many of my videos. But we're moving into IC, so it's self actualization, which is the rise of consciousness within you. So the stem of the energy is actually starting to widen upon the head, so we start to get this almost like a halo effect upon the head that keeps you alive, which is always a good thing. Yeah, which is the influx of energy that just is the life force. So it's like a lifeline. But we want expansion. We want the true essence of the soul, the magnetism of the soul to rise through the system of the awakening process. And the mind can restrict our energetic flowing systems because it shuts off the systems to be entered into the energetic field in the first place, which is the mind control. The perception of reality is being taught, brought, paid, brought forward into our reality with a program or a belief system. Okay, so we take ownership and we have an identification of self. Again, I did another video upon that, and that's for you to little outsource into those videos of identification of self. Okay, alamakianto da alakionto, varamanigit in a kalabakiatan, sulamakola bamba washumakiatan. It's all an inside job, isn't it? The inside job comes from here, and the light within sparks the reality into the original template. And we spoke about that in the first video on this playlist, which was the distorted illusionary field, and then we got the original template is what we signed up for. We go like, yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of that, have a little play of light and light, love light in physicality, and then there we go, we get injected into the system and then we get hijacked. So then we move into then the greater knowing of self with the ignition of light within, which is what we're talking about with, is to receive a sense of inner wisdom. And the wisdom from the higher mind, from the higher self, moves down into the embodied state, past the third eye, and ignites up into the upper body. And then it moves down and then down into the lower body. So we can embody that. So we embody the wisdom, which ignites our remembrance. We start to remember, and we start to release the blocks. The blocks may be in the quantum field, soul fragmentation, multidimensionality. We can go into more detail of that, but I'm not going to go into that yet. Mind control in this particular video is all about the capping system into, into five senses. So the physical body, if we look at the physical body, thank you, I feel like I'm slowing down. Okay, they're taking it into slow motion. Oof, yeah. Okay, just bear with me for a moment. Just feel into the energy of that that's coming forward. Okay, look into my eyes, not around my eyes, into my eyes. Okay, we're going to do a little light language transmission at this point. Lovely little injection of reality adjustment from this particular video into a light language transmission. Okay, wait a minute, let's go. Release that. Breathe in. Get. Just the neck where it needs to. Let the physical body go into the jaw, lips. Let it go. There's energy on the face. Can you feel it? Don't let the ego get in. Join me. Ooh. Wonder if the thumbnail would be like this. Okay. There was a reason for that, and I see now. When we look at the upper body and the mind control, there's an awful lot of that goes on in the structure of the face. If we look at aging in regards to mind control, that we see that we're going to get older and therefore we get stuck in these stuff goes on. And it's because there's an energetic block that's held within the system that creates aging at all. And I spoke about that in the other video, and it might have been one of the other videos that I did on Patreon, but I can't remember for sure. But it was all about the dis-ease within the body that then creates the aging process, which then creates the incarnational looping system. So if we know that then we're eternal and we can actually choose to come in or out, and there's all these beautiful bodies that we can use, then the soul can come in and use the vessel just like you go into the car, and you can then say, oh, okay, I'm just going to use that car and then I'm going to sell it and I'm going to use this car. Rather than coming in as a baby, you're coming in as a soul moving into a used car, with a careful owner, hopefully, so you just don't get this sort of, this body that you don't particularly like, that might have had a few broken legs and stuff from jumping off mountains. I don't know. But the vessel that we use on the original template would have been having the availability to come in and out of a soul journey alignment, but because we then own the body, then we then come into the body, and then we then own the body, and then we release the body, and then the body dies because it's then scrapped in the scrapyard, put into the earth, back in again, and then we reincarnate back into another body. We have to go through the veil of amnesia with the birthing system. We've got like this. But if we look at the sort of like the walking would be a soul wanting to leave from the system because they're ready to rise out of it, and then there's this systematic sort of movement in. But that's actually really sort of quite interesting, because using my discernment here is, then why is it that that's allowed? Is okay. Okay, this is another thing that they are showing me. It's almost like that was 1313 when I said that. It is divinely orchestrated, so therefore the tractor beam that comes in, there's this, they keep showing me this. Okay, so there's the person. If you've got the person there and there's no block upon them, then the powers that be, that is of the light of the galactic forces, which you are a starseed or light worker of, say a palladium. So a palladium goes like, we're going to find Nicola. Where is she? Where is she? Located her. There she is. Oh, tractor beam, tractor beam, tractor beam. Oh, we've got her, we've got her, we've got her. There's where the ignition of light comes in. And if at that point that particular embodied state wants to ignite within for that soul to rise through the journey, or whether that soul says, actually, I don't really want to, you want to use the body? Yeah, all right then a walking comes in, and there you go. So that body there, but they still have to deal with all of the DNA structure within the body and the incarnational loop and all of the stuff that goes on in the reality. But they've taken on that contract to come in and move through, but it's a sort of an upgraded system of the pen, but it's then also another fragment of the soul, or another complete soul that comes into the system. I hope this is all making sense. If it's not, just park it on your amber box, as Susie would say. So we've got mind control, right? Where am I at? Incarnational looping systems, identification of self, You start to wake up to who you are. You start to expand. So just like the pen or the person, pen person, similar, well, it starts with P, is on the land. You've got a tractor beam of light coming in, like, ah, yes, we have Nicola, fabulous. Okay, let's shake her up a bit. But we have her. So this sort of mind control system releases from the top of the head, and then let's take the lid off for the pen to start to work. But all of the embodied state needs to be cleared. It needs to be cleared from all of that trauma that's been stored in the body, in the hips, in the shoulders, in all of the DNA structure, like I spoke about in the very first video. It's that sort of movement of energy out of the body, of density, that will enable you to start then downloading information that then sits from a higher perspective, higher resonance, so that the body can then regenerate, rejuvenate itself, because then the mind then can adjust to that practice of alchemizing the reality rather than be suppressed within an illusionary field of reality. You're moving out of the older system into the newer system that allows the whole wisdom ignition from within to ignite within you. So the blocks within us are in those physical body parts, as well as the energetic field. And I'm going to talk about the energetic field in a fuller video on my Patreon. So I'm going to leave that video there for you to have a little contemplation on. Listen back to it if you feel that you want to go back in and have a little play with that on a meditation to ignite that remembrance within. You might get it like that. You may go like, what's she talking about? Don't quite get it. Then come back in a couple of months once you've cleared a little bit of suppression from your inner standing wisdom light, and then you'll then start to actually see the perspective of where I'm coming from. Whether that's the same as yours or not, who knows? But the questions within our mind start to open us up into the wisdom from inside of ourselves to actually see, well, what is it that is blocking me? And being empowered to either synchronize with somebody else to come in to assist you, or whether you meditate and see these inner block systems that are creating a sense of suppression. Okay, whether it's the mind, whether you program yourself with I am this, I am that through identification, whether you are in an embodied state and then taking on that DNA structure of the body, and let that energy move through you for your rise, for your rise, for your rise. Okay, check out all the links. Thank you so much for joining me on this video, and I'll see you all soon.